Okay friends, to get started on our ignition module, the first thing we have to do is find it. It's going to be located on the passenger side of your engine, right here. Now the next thing I want to do is remove the wiring harness. I'm just going to carefully lift up on this tab and draw the wiring away. Always take a peek at your electrical connectors. If you find any funny colors, it's probably corrosion and it needs to be dealt with. This one looks great, so I'm going to set it aside. Now the next thing we need to do is remove our two mounting bolts. There's one here and there's one located right underneath that. I'm just going to work this back and forth so hopefully it doesn't break off inside the bracket. If you wanted to use a little bit of penetrant, of course that's going to be a good idea. Alright, so I've got that one coming loose. Now I'm going to do the other one at the same time here. Work it back and forth, of course. Let's go ahead and get this right out of here. Alright, now with both bolts out of the way, let's grab this right off. Perfect. Now we're going to take our original module, we're going to set that aside. We need to pay attention to this right here. You can tell that it has some nice cooling fins on it, and that's going to be super important. We want to make sure that our new module doesn't overheat. That's what all these cooling fins are for. Now what you want to do is pay attention to it. You can see that it has a whole bunch of crud on here, on the forward side, and if you turn it over, on the rearward side as well. We want to make sure we get all of that off of there, and then of course on the bracket as well where this is going to be mounted. Let's go ahead and clean them up. Now it's going to be time to install our brand new ignition control module. Something that we want to pay attention to is the back side. Now we're going to put on a little bit of thermal paste. We're just going to go ahead and put a nice thin coating along the entire aspect. Put on a little bit of thermal paste along the back side of the cooling unit as well. So let's go ahead and put that on there along the areas where it's going to be hitting up against the bracket that leads to the engine. Okay, now at this point we can get ready to put this onto the truck. Go ahead and take your control module, slide it over the cooler here, and then we're going to put this onto the bracket, start in both of our bolts, and then we'll snug them up. I've got the bottom one started. Start in this top one here. Okay, now that I have them both bottomed out, we're just going to essentially just take it a teeny bit more. Remember that these are very small bolts, so too much torque is going to of course break them off. Once you're sure that both of them are nice and tight, we're going to continue on to putting on our wiring harness. Just go ahead and take that, push it right in, listen for the click, and then give it a nice gentle tug. We just want to ensure that there's no way that this can fall off. The next thing you have to do is go ahead and start up the truck and make sure you don't have any check engine light.